Aaron, I want to ask you about the Democratic primaries over in the States, because I know you follow this. We've just had Iowa and they're about to go to New Hampshire. How do you think it's looking at the moment?
Well, the amazing thing about this, Sharri, is that as this goes on longer, Donald Trump looks like he's in a better position. You know, this isn't playing out like a lot of people hoped it would. That's people who don't like Trump. You've got the leading candidates on the Democratic side, Buttigieg and Warren, who many people don't consider really electable. You know,
do you think Warren's still a leading candidate? You don't think it's Buttigieg and Bernie Sanders?
Look, it's hard to tell, and Iowa's a straw poll, and New Hampshire will be much better test. But even if it is Sanders and Buttigieg, the problem is Buttigieg very.
It's been a surprise kind of pop-up, really.
He
hasn't
has.
it? I mean, no one's really taking him terribly seriously before Iowa.
The problem is he's a 37-year-old mayor of a relatively minor city in a relatively minor state. So he's very interesting now. He's more of a curiosity to me than a serious presidential contender. And
he's polling well.
He is polling well, and I'm not convinced. Could be wrong here, but I'm not convinced that on head-to-head he's going to have the gravitas to get tens of millions of Americans to come out to the polls and vote for him. Because remember, because it's non-compulsory, you've got to have this huge motivation amongst people to vote. And I think just his lack of experience is a huge weight on him. Give him 10 years, perhaps he could do it.
His youth can work for and against him because, you know, when you've got Joe Biden being painted as very old and forgetful, and he's very slow and sloppy with his responses, so someone young and energetic like Peter does have an appeal. But on the other hand, people think, well, it's not his time now. You know, as you just said, give him another 10 years.
Well, it's not his time. Then people will say Biden's missed his chance. They'll say Bernie Sanders is far too left-wing, and Elizabeth Warren is, you know, she's pretty left-wing too.
Well, she's just as left-wing as Bernie Sanders. But just quickly before I move back to Eliza, do you think this impeachment, you know, any of it that never happened, do you think this has damaged the Democrats more than any of the allegations that emerged during the attempts to impeach Trump?
That's very hard to tell, and a lot of people feel that way, but then a lot of people on the left adamantly disagree. So America's so polarised at the moment, I find it very hard to understand what the net political consequences are of the impeachment trial. But you know, Trump's done a pretty good job of shrugging it off.
Yeah, he shrugs off every controversy.
He does.
Now,